How do we become who we are? Is it just by practice? Imagine if practicing gratitude could make you genuinely grateful, or if opening your heart against all odds became second nature. That would be supernatural, right? It's like training for a marathon. The more you do it, the easier it gets. But how can we truly believe in a future that we imagine with all our hearts? Think of it like this. Back in ancient times, people learned from spiritual leaders like Jesus or Buddha. But now, science is our guide. It's like mixing quantum physics with neuroscience and other fancy terms. These new sciences show us what's possible, and the more we understand why we do things, the easier they become. It's not just about knowing anymore, it's about knowing how. In today's world, information is everywhere. You don't need someone to tell you what to do, you can figure it out yourself. So the big question is, how do we apply all this knowledge to our lives? Learning new things creates connections in our brains, but if we can't remember what we've learned, those connections fade away. Repetition is key. The more we practice, the stronger those connections become. When we experience something, it rewires our brains even more. It's like upgrading our mental software. And the best part? We get a chemical reward called emotion. That feeling of being limitless or grateful, it's like a high for our bodies. And the more we feel it, the more it becomes a part of us. It's like training for a sport. At first, it's hard work, but eventually, it becomes second nature. We go from thinking to doing to being. We become masters of our own destiny. But there's a catch. Our senses can deceive us. We might pray for something, but when it doesn't happen, we feel discouraged. That's because our minds and bodies are out of sync. But here's the trick. Gratitude. When we feel grateful, it's like telling our bodies that our desires have already come true. It's a powerful feeling that changes our state of being. Suddenly, we're not waiting for the future anymore. We're living it in the present. And the more we practice this, the more it becomes our reality. So let's keep practicing gratitude. Let's keep opening our hearts to the possibilities. Because when we do, we're not just imagining our future. We're remembering it, and that changes everything. What if I told you that one simple shift in perspective could transform your entire reality? Consider this. What if we approached each day with an attitude of gratitude? Gratitude, often underestimated in its power, has the remarkable ability to shape our reality in profound ways. Take, for example, the mundane act of waking up in the morning. Instead of groaning at the thought of another day ahead, imagine starting your day with a heartfelt thank you for the simple gift of being alive. This small shift can set a positive tone for the entire day, allowing you to approach challenges with resilience and opportunities with enthusiasm. Gratitude has a way of reframing our experiences. When we consciously acknowledge the things we're grateful for, whether it's a supportive friend, a warm cup of coffee, or a beautiful sunset, we begin to see more of the goodness in our lives. It's like putting on a pair of glasses that allows us to focus on the bright spots rather than the shadows. Moreover, practicing gratitude cultivates a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. Instead of fixating on what we lack, we become aware of the abundance that surrounds us, from the air we breathe to the relationships we cherish. This shift in perspective opens us up to a world of possibilities and fosters a deeper sense of contentment and fulfillment. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of gratitude is its ripple effect. When we express gratitude, whether through a simple thank you or a heartfelt note, we not only uplift ourselves, but also spread positivity to those around us. It's like casting a pebble into a pond, creating waves of kindness and connection that extend far beyond ourselves. In essence, gratitude is a transformative force that has the power to shape our reality. It reminds us to pause, appreciate the present moment, and find joy in the simplest of things. So, as you go about your day, take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for. You may be surprised by the profound impact it has on your life and the world around you. Imagine your brain as a sculptor, carving out images of your past experiences. These images shape your thoughts and feelings, creating a loop that keeps you stuck in yesterday. When you wake up, do you dwell on your problems? Those problems are like old movies playing in your mind, reminding you of past hurts and fears. It's like we're addicted to our own misery. Every time we think about our past, we reinforce those negative emotions, and the more we dwell on them, the harder it is to break free. We're like prisoners in a cell of our own making, constantly reliving the pain of yesterday. But what if there was another way? What if we could break free from this cycle of suffering? It starts by shifting our focus away from the past and into the present moment. Instead of dwelling on what was or what might be, we learn to embrace the here and now. It's not easy, though. We're so used to being someone with all our attachments and identities, but true freedom lies in becoming a nobody, letting go of all that defines us. It means releasing our grip on material things and entering the realm of pure consciousness. When we do this, something remarkable happens. We tap into the quantum field, an invisible web that connects everything in the universe. And from this place of pure potentiality, we can create a new reality. It's like being a magnet, drawing our desires to us effortlessly. We no longer have to chase after them, they come to us naturally. And as we align our energy with this new reality, our biology begins to change. Our brains become more coherent, our hearts more open. We release old traumas and fears, making room for healing and growth. It's a transformation that goes beyond words, spreading like wildfire through our communities. Health and wellness become contagious, replacing disease and suffering. And before we know it, a new consciousness emerges, one of joy, abundance, and endless possibility. It's a brave new world, and it's ours for the taking. You know, sometimes we think we need something external to feel better inside. But what if I told you that's not entirely true? The real magic happens when we realize that we have the power to change how we feel all on our own. It's like a superpower we all possess, but often forget to use. The key is getting familiar with how we feel and learning to shift that feeling. It's a bit like training a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger you become. And soon enough, you can do it with your eyes wide open or closed tight. But here's the thing, if we slip back into our old ways, chances are, so will our pain or whatever condition we're dealing with. It's like taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back on a journey to heal and transform ourselves. Yet, if we stick with it long enough, something amazing happens. Our chemistry undergoes a radical shift, and suddenly, we're head over heels in love with life itself. Imagine feeling so incredibly alive that your heart feels like it's bursting with joy. When that happens, something magical unfolds inside us. Oxytocin floods our system, causing our hearts to open wide. And in that moment, forgiveness comes naturally, grudges are forgotten, and love flows freely. This transformation isn't just about feeling good, it's about becoming a better version of ourselves. We start to realize that true abundance isn't about what we have, it's about who we are. As we journey down this path, we encounter signs and synchronicities that guide us forward. Instead of dreading our daily practices, we eagerly anticipate them, knowing that each one brings us closer to our true selves. And as we continue to climb out of our old lives and into our new ones, something incredible happens. Our bodies start to change at a cellular level, signaling a profound shift in our very being. We begin to understand that we're not victims of our genes or our circumstances. Instead, we're powerful creators, shaping our reality with every thought and emotion. Victim mentality is a mindset characterized by a pervasive sense of being powerless and helpless, where individuals perceive themselves as victims of circumstances beyond their control. Instead of taking ownership of their actions and outcomes, they tend to blame external factors or other people for their misfortunes. This mindset can be incredibly detrimental, as it hinders personal growth, resilience, and the ability to overcome challenges. We often adopt a victim mentality as a defense mechanism to cope with difficult situations or traumas in our lives. It provides temporary relief from taking responsibility and facing the harsh realities of our circumstances. However, in the long run, it shackles us, preventing us from reaching our full potential and leading fulfilling lives. Imagine someone who constantly blames their failures on external factors, such as their upbringing, their boss, or the economy. They refuse to acknowledge their role in their own setbacks and remain trapped in a cycle of self-pity and stagnation. They relinquish control of their lives to external forces, resigning themselves to a fate dictated by circumstances. But it doesn't have to be this way. We have the power to break free from the shackles of victim mentality and reclaim control over our lives. It starts with recognizing that while we may not have control over everything that happens to us, we always have control over how we respond. Instead of dwelling on past injustices or perceived limitations, we can choose to focus on what we can do right now to improve our situation. We can cultivate a mindset of resilience, perseverance, and empowerment. Every setback becomes an opportunity for growth, every challenge a chance to prove our strength and resilience. So, let go of the victim mentality that holds you back. Embrace the power within you to shape your own destiny. Take ownership of your life, your choices, and your actions. Refuse to be defined by your past or your circumstances. Rise above adversity and become the hero of your own story. You are capable of achieving greatness, but it starts with believing in yourself and taking decisive action. The world is yours for the taking. Seize it with courage, determination, and unwavering belief in your own potential. Imagine you're a surfer out in the vast ocean, seeking the perfect wave. You paddle out eagerly, feeling the anticipation building with each stroke. But as you reach the lineup, you notice the waves are crowded with other surfers, all vying for the same exhilarating ride. At first, you feel overwhelmed, believing you're a victim of the crowded conditions. You hesitate, unsure if you'll ever catch a wave among the chaos. But then, you shift your perspective. Instead of seeing the other surfers as obstacles, you see them as companions on the journey. You realize that you're not a victim of their presence. You're part of a vibrant community united by a shared passion for surfing. With renewed determination, you paddle alongside your fellow surfers, exchanging smiles and words of encouragement. As a set approaches, you position yourself carefully, feeling the energy of the ocean beneath you. When the perfect wave finally arrives, you paddle with all your strength, feeling the rush of adrenaline as you glide effortlessly down the face of the wave. In that moment, you realize that you're not a victim of your environment. You're a master of it. Just like in the crowded lineup, life often throws us into situations where we feel overwhelmed by the presence of others. We may see them as barriers to our success, obstacles preventing us from reaching our goals, but if we shift our perspective, we can see them as allies instead of adversaries. We can draw strength from the camaraderie and support of those around us, turning what once seemed like a hindrance into an opportunity for growth and collaboration. So the next time you feel like a victim of your environment, whether it's crowded waves or crowded spaces, remember that you have the power to change your perspective. Embrace the challenges, lean on your community for support, and ride the waves of life with courage and determination. You're not a victim of your environment, you're a surfer riding the waves of possibility with grace and resilience. So the next time you find yourself struggling, remember, the power to change lies within you. Embrace the present moment, trust in the process, and watch as your life transforms before your eyes. We want to extend our deepest gratitude for taking the time to watch our video. Your support means the world to us, and we're thrilled to have you as part of our community. By tuning in, you're not only supporting our channel, but you're also fueling our passion for creating inspiring content that uplifts and motivates. If you enjoyed what you saw and felt inspired by our message, we invite you to join our journey by subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on our latest uploads and empowering content.